Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the World Cup. You've got myself, Matt Falby, in the booth with Todd Ansich.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're about to see a little more international paintball. It's something you get at the World Cup that you don't always get with every other event. We get a lot more international teams showing up for the big show, and World Cup, no doubt, is the big show. So we have Manawatu Titans on the field. Fire and Oreo calls being made. So Titans versus the KC Allstars. Looks like we've already got a body dropped. So 5-on-4.
So we have Manawatu on the left.
And Allstars on the right. All right, Titans lose their first player, so it's 5-on-4. Although one of the Allstars getting a check, and he takes a walk from that back line. Snakeside can. So we're back to 4-on-4. Fairly well matched up positionally. Although the Allstars do have a player up the middle in that wedge. So you know what I'm a little surprised so far I'm not seeing is teams getting to that Snake 50 as fast as I expected them to. I really thought teams would be up in that Snake 50 very quickly into most games. Which really has an effect on what bunkers are livable and what bunkers are good to play from defensively, and that just really hasn't been the case yet. So far today. Good push from Allstars. They're really pushing up that Dorito side and up the middle. Two players walking off of the Titans. So for the Titans, we have the home. And as I say that, they lose their can on that back line.
All
and the home's about to get bunkered. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that the All-Star player continued to shoot after shot. That said, the guy he was shooting after was already dead. So it's not like he took a body dirty.
Yeah.
But he probably didn't need to stay on his trigger as long as he did.
Yeah.
And that, I'm not saying that for sportsmanship reasons, although I can rant about that. I think it was just a little risky from a penalty situation.
So that's going to give the All-Stars a 1-0 lead, leaving 13 minutes on the clock. That was a quick, just under 2-minute point.
All right, so we're going to have Sacramento DMG versus Vegas Golden Misfits. Misfits are going to be on my right, DMG on my left.
3 seconds.
The sun probably at, what would you say, 30-degree angle now?
I just took out my my compass there. It's about 32, and if you wait a few moments and check it, it'll be 33.
So it's becoming less of an issue, I think is what I'm saying.
It certainly is.
Yeah, the Snake side really had to look into the sun early in the match to look Dorito side.
The problem, what is the issue, is it's getting hot. The temperature has raised a few degrees in the last few minutes. So we lose...
DMG still 5 alive.
We lose a Misfit player and another Misfit player. Is that going to be a penalty? Yes, a minor.
Misfits are going to lose 2 bodies almost at the same time due to that flag.
So Misfits down 3 bodies right now.
Sacramento still 5 alive. Sacramento making that push up into that snake wall 2. He's going to start wrap looking for kills. There you go. Nice bump to that 50 brick. Again, there's nothing stopping him from wrapping at this point. DMG doubled up in the snake, and they're making a big push down the Dorito side. That's going to finish. Oh, he wraps and just blows up that tower. That's going to finish it out, folks. Great opening point for DMG. I mean, it certainly didn't help that there was a minor for the Misfits. That's going to kill you most games, but, man, DMG looked good on that one. Good pushing, good teamwork. They took control of the snake real early, and they finished out the game. Well, folks at home, you were very lucky. You're about to get a chance to listen to the silky smooth tones of Steve Vincone from BZ Fearless. He's joining me here in the booth. So we got All-Stars heading on the field. They're going to be on the left side. Excuse me, they're going to be on the right side. Titans on the left. Steve.
How's it going?
Welcome to the booth, man. It's so good to have you back.
I know. It feels like it's been forever.
This is really bad for my career because Steve has got a better voice.
No.
And he's a better player.
Oh, well, I don't know about
He's
that.
taller.
Just don't watch any of the games.
Clearly better looking. I got nothing here, so try to go easy on me,
No,
all right?
I'll try. All
right,
yeah, it's good to be back. I was excited when you reached out to me.
Yeah, I'm super glad to have you back. All right, so we got All-Stars versus Titans. I believe Titans on my left, All-Stars on our right.
Right, they have kind of similar jerseys. It's hard to
Yeah,
tell.
they're very similar jerseys. We were definitely going to make mistakes this game. Oh, first player walking off from the home over there on the Titans side.
I think that's All-Stars.
Is it All-Stars?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Titans are on the right here. Yeah.
Good call. See? Already making me look bad.
It's the glare. It's the sun, right? Oh.
You saying I look bad in direct sunlight?
No, I'm saying
no,
it was
that's
hard
fair.
to see the
That's
it was hard
totally
to see
fair.
the other teams. Titan made it to the 50 Dorito got shot out. That 50 Dorito is you think it's safe.
It's weird.
It's very strange. Like
Yeah.
you get lulled into this complacency, and then they can just shoot you from so many different angles.
Yeah. And you can go to the inside, that little corral inside there, but it's weird. You got to play in space to try to stay alive in there.
I think that's what's throwing some players for a loop.
Yeah.
So it was really like bang bang. They just kept dropping bodies on both sides. All-Stars got the push to the Snake 50 though.
This corner is in a lot of trouble if for some reason the Snake 50 comes off that corner. I would stay in the corner.
Yeah.
There's no way you can live in there if you just keep your gun on him.
He's
Oh, big counter push.
big, huge. Oh wow.
Is it a trade?
I mean, even if it is, they still have.
That was a trade.
Yeah. So the corner guy lived.
Yeah, real good push up that middle. I say push. That makes it sound like it was slower than what it really was. What it really was a really smart move
Exactly.
to try to take out the one player on the field that could have still won it.
Yeah.
Great move. All right, let's talk about your match, whether you want to or not. What do you think?
Goodness. You know, so coming into this, I think that this layout was a little bit more quote-unquote traditional than the previous ones, and so I had high hopes for us being able to play it well. But I think that because it was traditional and because it allows for you to play it in so many different ways, our adjustments and overall play style just really weren't what we wanted, I guess you could say. So we tried to put up some good fights.
So you're throwing your coach under the bus. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, basically, I'm the coach, though.
Well, then you're definitely throwing the coach under the bus.
So, I guess I am throwing myself under the bus. But it was this today specifically was a much better fight than it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So we made some adjustments, and I think the scoreboard reflects that.
It was a good match.
It was fun.
Yeah. All right, Sacramento DMG versus Misfits. DMG looked dominant in their first point.
Yeah, that run to the snake corner and he lived. That's pretty awesome that he was able to get out there.
Yeah, there's a big gap there, a big shooting lane gap right before you.
Oh,
get
he
to
did
that
take a
Dorito.
bounce though. Calling for a check. Let's see. Did he make it? He made it. That's awesome. If you can make it to that corner, it's pretty huge, but it's hard to get out there.
Well, I think we're seeing one player walking off for Misfits. I think 3 players walked off for DMG so far.
Yeah, Misfits are in the Dorito 50.
Another Misfit player walking off. They are starting to push that snake side, though.
Yeah, they are. It's hard to see how many players are alive, but the snake side can is really getting a lot of heat from that Dorito 50 player.
Misfits starting to push up the snake. They're now into that snake wall, too.
Okay, so yeah, they have both 50s pushed now.
Up to 50 brick, he can wrap and maybe take that can.
Yeah, let's see if DMG can.
Good shot.
Snap, yeah.
Good snapshot by the Misfit player at the 50 brick. And now he takes that
There it
can.
is. Okay, so Misfits tied it up. That's good.
Great turnaround game for them.
Yeah. Pretty convincing push and win.
So talking about the field, what I saw walking the field, and I haven't had a chance to play it. I did walk it at my home field, AG Paintball in Ware, New Hampshire. Please come out and play. And I had a chance to walk the field here. I see a lot of opportunity for running because there's so much blocking home shooters. I only see 2 windows for shooters, and that is, like you mentioned, that dive into the Dorito corner. You do have to get past a lane. And then there's maybe a 5-foot lane for anybody diving into Snake 1 over here.
Yeah, so the snake run off the break is pretty tough because what we call the command center, that tower on the snake side.
Yep.
Going up to it's pretty safe. And the entire way running up, if you're looking snake side, you can just dump paint on their run.
Yeah.
And so that run is pretty difficult, and that's kind of why you don't see it super often. There are some, fast, small players that identify, hey, they're not that strong of a lane. I think I can run through it, and they can make it. But other than that, the wide runs are hard to make, easy lanes, and then actually back up through the center from home. You can either stand tall, or you can kind of hide behind the bunker, and there's some good lanes out that way. But yeah, this layout really does favor teams that like to move a lot.
All right, here we go. Manawatu Titans versus KC Allstars. Game is tied up 1-1 so far.
Yeah. Allstars make a good push to the center.
So
it's pretty easy to make it to that center, and it's pretty effective if you know how to play it well.
Now, that center bunker gets real tough to live in if they get to the Snake 50, but then again, lots of things get tough to live in if the Snake 50 is hot.
True.
I love, and I haven't seen teams taking it, this wedge that's closer here towards the wedge side at the 50. I think you can really control any movement up the Snake from it.
Oh, yeah.
But getting to it is a little bit harder than it is to imagine.
Same thing with the Dorito side wedge. They're all 3-4 of those bunkers in the center are very strong.
Now, the Dorito side wedge can't look down into the snake like you can from the snake side.
No, but if you're on the Dorito side, you want to focus on the Dorito side, right? If you're on that Dorito wedge.
Yeah.
Allstars just made a pretty awesome move. I think it was their home player ran at the snake tower around it, and I think he went up to one of the center bunkers. I'm not sure which one.
Snake side wedge. So they have both 50 wedges at this point?
Oh, yeah, I see his gun, yeah.
And now they're into the what we're calling the snake wall 2.
I don't know if Titans, have they lost a player? Allstars made these moves with 5 up. That's pretty awesome.
I'm seeing home. I'm seeing snake side tower. I'm sorry. I'm seeing the can on the back line. That isn't. Yeah. So I'm seeing at least 3.
Yeah, Allstars, and that's that's what I'm talking about. If you have the awareness to make these moves, you can move even if they have 5 bodies up. Allstars are getting ready to wrap. Yep, he's got it.
Blow up that tower.
No way you can live there. And he did it so silently. They had no clue. Yeah. Great.
Good move.
Yeah, great play by the number 24. That's
and he takes one on the shoulder. Oh.
That's unfortunate. Who shot him?
It's got to be the can on the back line.
The snake can.
Left side can.
That's too bad. I was just about to say, it's probably his number that's giving him some special powers.
24? What do we got? Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
The Brotherhood of 24 rearing its ugly head here in the booth.
But, commentator cursed again. Sorry.
That'll do it. You can, if you have a favorite in this game, you can affect the outcome of the game by complimenting players.
Technically, we have to play the All-Stars next. So
do you want them to come in hungry, or do you want them to come in overconfident?
To be perfectly honest, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I want them to come in hungry. Give us a good match,
All right, so you just need to start complimenting them.
That's true.
And they'll start dying in droves. Sooner or later, we're going to have some kind of corruption, gambling scandal.
I know, right?
When we figured out how to use the commentator curse to affect games.
Yep. All right, so it looks like
we've got one left in that corner over there.
Yeah, there's a
D1.
snake. There's a snake. Titans have a snake can. It looks like he's in the defensive position. It looks like there's the Dorito 1 for Titans. All-Stars are getting ready to push up though, and I think that they're on their side of the field on Doritos.
Oh.
And then they had the snake wedge. So All-Stars are making a push on the Titans, but they have a good cross. Titans have a good cross right now, so we'll see if they can break it.
The Dorito player over there is not sticking to the cross. He's freelancing a little bit, going back and forth, which I'm not entirely opposed to, as long as you do it quickly and then get back to your assignment.
It's crazy that he did that with the All-Star player in their Dorito 3, and he might catch him out. Let's see. This is exciting play. This is what I like. To see if he was able to make that ghost and get that super key shot on the Dorito player.
Oh, good.
Did he get
shooting. The middle wedge is walking off for the All-Stars.
This puts the Dorito player. Oh, so they have they're in their center wedge. All-Stars are in Titans center wedge and Titans Dorito 3.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's a 2-on-2. Titans are doing a good hold here.
Yeah, I was going to say, that all-star player up the center, he doesn't have great options. If he takes another step forward, he's going to walk right through that cross.
That was a scary move. Did he make it? He's getting checked. Did he make it to that snake wedge? Nope. That's rough for the All-Stars. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
And the flag.
Is that a minor or
That's
major?
Looks like it was a minor.
That's big for the Titans.
Wow, what a great hold by the Titans.
Yeah, and it looks like it looks like the ref's looking for one more, so the All-Stars are going to start down one.
Wow.
Huge point for the Titans. That's awesome for them.
Great hold by the Titans.
Yeah.
That was really impressive.
You know, that walking off, they're happy about that.
Yeah, great hold by the Titans. Really impressively done. I don't know if I have the patience for those kind of holds. I tend to go, well, maybe I can do a sneaky run through right now.
Yeah.
They expect me to hold, and I just die horribly.
Yeah. Well, you know, this field is so much about awareness. Like, you really have to be aware of where you can get shot from, where the players are, and what your next move is. And the teams that capitalize on it, the players that capitalize on that, you see them do, awesome things like that.
Now, half of that awareness is your team communicating
100%.
where the bad guys are.
I would say more than half.
Yeah.
More than half, especially on this field. Yeah, that's a very good point.
All right, here we go. DMG versus Misfits. Game tied up 1-1.
Yeah, should be good. Let's see. Player walking off for Misfits.
First player walking off, so 5-4. DMG did a good job getting that first snake wall.
Misfit player in the snake, and he checked. He's clean. That's always scary, because if he was not clean, that more than likely would have been a penalty.
Yeah. You saying, and you think he might have gotten hit on the run?
Probably bounced.
So
bounced.
Generally speaking, me as a ref, when I ref, if a player's allowed to finish their move into the bunker and then stop and ask for a check, generally I won't penalize somebody for getting hit mid-run as long as they get to a close bunker.
So it's interesting, right? So the refs have a little bit of wiggle room in terms of how they want to interpret the play, but for the most part, especially as you get up into the higher level plays, it's like, when you got hit, man. So if you continue play to a certain degree, more than likely going to throw the penalty.
Well, I'll never get up in the higher level play, so not an issue.
Don't say never.
No, I'm a little bit too old for that. At this
What
point.
are you talking about? There's no way you're older than I am.
Just my opponents know my weakness, and that's shoot for my hips.
Hey, there's pros that do it. It works.
Yeah.
DMG's making a huge push here. Lots of aggression.
Run through the middle. He's just looking for bodies. He can't find anything to shoot at.
Anything.
He may have gone out of bounds, though.
And
No, the refs aren't calling him out of bounds.
Oh, they toweled regardless. So
Foul out.
strong push.
Yeah, great.
Strong push from DMG.
So let's go back to that for a second. Just let's geek out and talk about rules. If a play, in my opinion, if a player as a ref is on their way to a bunker, they take a hit, they can, at least at the levels I've refed at, and I have refed NXL before, you let them finish getting into that bunker as long as they immediately stop and either ask for check or check themselves, or they don't continue any kind of play. Obviously, at semi-pro level, refs are a whole different ball of wax what they'll let you get away with.
So, in any sport, players are going to try to take any advantage that they can get. Right?
Yep.
And so you have to think about it. And this is the ref's discretion. If a player, especially a snake player, runs in and he got hit and he's like, hey, ref, come check me, this is all taking time. So
True.
the refs coming to check, and the players that are looking snake way, they have to stay dedicated to see if he came out or not. And so that's all time that the other team could be doing something around that play. So that's why the ref's like, you know what?
You're effectively acting as a defensive player just by not leaving the field fast enough. Yep.
The time player gets chopped up going up to the snake side tower.
DMG versus Misfits.
You really have to step into that snake side tower quickly, otherwise they can shoot you pretty quick.
That snake side tower is one of those bunkers I do not want to stay at for long because if the snake gets hot, it's going to be hard to live.
Yeah, but you got to go there to try to stop them. So number 24 for All-Stars, again, at the 50 snake. He makes it in there, does a really good job. Let's see if he can capitalize on it again.
Another player walking off. Actually, two players walking off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like last point, he kind of was up here by himself. Let's see if he can make it work again for him. Got him. He got the snake side can.
I'm sorry. I'm calling DMG Misfits. This is the Titans game.
It is. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. I see that down there.
Their scoreboard's off.
That's all
right. Double Ricky, whatever that means. Number 24 has the opportunity to just win this game. He's got to keep his gun up over that Dorito side.
Titans player is moving up, though.
Yeah, he just totally missed that.
And see, that's you kind of want to default to, I'm by myself, I got to play defensively. But if you start making those moves, you really catch people off. He saw him move.
Yeah. And now
I think the All-Star player is still trying to find out where he's at.
He's in a tough bunker.
I think he found him. They just did a complete switch now.
So I can say as a player, oftentimes I can figure out where the other player is just by the angle paint is coming.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
And if you've played long enough, you pretty much can read just a stream of paint. So does he choose number 24? Does he choose to stick with the gunfighter? Or is he going to go for the buzzer?
So he has to decide: is the Titan player watching the buzzer or not?
Oh, he's going for the buzzer. Did he make it?
The Titan player did make it. He might have missed it, but I think that the ref's calling saying he did make it first.
Yeah, the refs were calling time. So as long as he's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great game for number 24 over here. I believe his name might be Wall. And just a little bit too slow. So that goes back. In that one-on-one situation, when you're both only a couple bunkers away from home, you have to make a decision. Do I continue the gunfight, or should I just try to go for the win?
Hey, that's when it really comes down to, chess play mentality. It's like, what's my option, risk versus reward, all of that. So the Titan player, he chose right. He found the opening, sprinted, got it.
Just a smidge faster.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, the Allstars and Titans have had some really close, pretty interesting points so far.
So who's Fearless's nemesis? What's the team that you guys seem to always draw on your schedule?
Titans, 100%.
It's been the Titans?
We've had them every single time, and we've progressively gotten worse playing them, to be perfectly honest. The first time we played them, we put up a good fight. I think it might have gone to overtime, and we've just seen them every tournament.
So
and, they're a strong team, and they kind of play to our weaknesses, just their play style. So it's always been, they've always been deemed our rival.
So I think your best shot then is probably to go ahead and go in the gear bags, look for wallets, see if you can find credit card numbers, and get those credit card canceled, like, say, a day before the event.
That's true.
And they'll make it because they're traveling from the other side of the
earth.
earth.
I know, exactly. Yeah. Really, we got to start looking for different options now, right?
That's called an alternative win condition, folks.
Any win condition's a win condition, right?
Yeah, they are traveling from New Zealand. I don't want to pry into their finances, but I looked up what a flight from New Zealand costs.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Holy crap. And they're doing it with what, 10, 12 players or something like that? I mean, it's a down payment on a house, what they're paying to get here. So thank you for traveling all the way from New Zealand.
I was going to say, committed,
Yeah. I have no idea what the paintball scene is in New Zealand. I don't know what they have for fields.
I mean, the weather in New Zealand, I've heard, is pretty nice. So I'm sure it's always like prime conditions to play. But yeah, I wonder if it has a very established paintball scene, and if the fields, the bunkers, all that stuff.
So now you're touching on a sore point for us personally from New England. We lose so much of the season up there to snow. And the teams that are further south of us have the ability to play year round.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is, like, personally, I'm jealous because from Arizona, there's no snow ever. We don't have seasons.
You want snow, or
yeah, I do. I want it, but I also have to understand, being able to play paintball year round, if you can manage the heat, is a pretty big advantage.
Yeah. Yesterday morning in New Hampshire, I'm scraping ice off my windshield. That's where
never had to deal with that ever.
That's where we're at right now up in New Hampshire. So, literally in my area, the teams are chomping at the bit to play once spring comes.
Oh, I can imagine.
And they will volunteer their time to go to fields to shovel off speedball fields just so they can get out there.
I remember practicing in Chicago once during the winter, and I remember having to do that. And I was like, this is something I've never thought about having to do.
Yeah, you got to overbore a little bit to make sure you're not breaking paint. But other than that. Hey, thank you to all our sponsors that make this possible, by the way. There's too many for me to name quickly, so I'll go randomly. GI Sports and Lux, thank you so much. It is great to have your support, both for the NXL and especially for this webcast.
Yeah, 100%. The webcast is awesome. It's something that when we started the season, knowing that we were able to get our games cast, throughout the history of paintball and NXL, being able to watch the cast and all that stuff, I loved it. And so having it be able to be cast on semi-pro, it's just been awesome being able to have my family and friends watch. Yeah. So this is something that I completely and fully support. I think it's good for paintball in general.
I really do believe that part of the reason that teams come to play national events like the NXL is the prestige. It's a prestige event, right? I mean, you could play local. You could play against the kid's birthday party that are renting guns, but it doesn't have the prestige of coming here and playing. So adding a webcast, and this is going to sound self-serving. I don't deserve any credit for this webcast, but
that's not true.
It adds the prestige of coming and playing.
100%.
That's why I would argue, dude, if I were the NXL, I would start a D5 webcast. The teams that would show up to play would go from 30 to 300.
And then you'd get consistency in those teams because they outside of wanting to play and be competitive, right? You come to NXL to have the best of the best competition. But knowing, hey, you know what? Through my entire journey from D5 and up, I can, have tape and record, because this is a quality webcast, right? It's not, you're able to see plays, you're able to see what's going on, you're able to review tape. So, I mean, I think it's something that's huge from entertainment and from like a functional standpoint too.
Thank you for calling it a quality webcast.
It is quality.
That was generous of
We
you.
love it. And you add a lot to the webcast, so I don't want you to sell yourself short.
Just up here having fun. All right, Misfits versus DMG.
Looks like they both dropped a body.
Yeah, so we got 4-4.
DMG loves pushing, and they do it effectively.
So they made a run not directly into that snake beam, but outside of the snake wall, and that seemed to work. Maybe that gets them around that firing lane.
Yeah, and their Dorito player, I think he was at D1 and made it all the way to D5, that 50 Dorito amalgamation over there.
Misfits down to 2, and they're going to be down to 1 here in a second.
There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, DMG took the ground and just started chopping people up.
Blew it up. Nice work by Greenwald of DMG.
See, that's what you love to see. DMG dropped a body immediately, but they still said, hey, the game plan is to push.
Yep.
They still pushed.
Now, again, that could be a communication thing as a front player. If you don't know that some of your back players have died, you just, hey, I stick with the game plan that I was told.
And that's what you had to do. And I tell my ones that, the ones being the furthest body, the ones that are going to be running the most. No matter what happens, you have a job. Your job is to get up the field and try to take 1 or 2 bodies before you get out. Don't really worry about what's going on until somebody starts talking directly to you and saying, hey,
here's the situation,
right? And so, you have to have that what you call it a killer mindset. You just want to always be progressing. And it's scary sometimes, right? Especially on a tournament level, nerves, and you're like, I don't want to get shot because then people are going to judge me, and I'm going to be hard on myself. But you have to just remember, live behind your gun, listen to the game plan, and execute.
I think as a coach, you got to be careful not to install a culture of fear that you're going to get yelled at, or you're going to start stunting the aggressiveness.
And that's what I really try to do with my guys, is just let them know, hey, it's okay to make mistakes.
Right,
Ref running in.
Titans versus Allstars. First player walking off on my left.
All-Star player getting checked. It's clean. Good. So they don't have that snake presence. The All-Stars don't have that snake presence that they've had consistently for their past few points. So let's see if they can recover from it.
So neither team really is either in the snake or in great position to take the snake at the moment.
And so because of that, he just filled. So that snake tower is really key in stopping the snake if he doesn't get there off the break.
Also from that juice box, you can do that same game plan.
So it looks like that's what he's doing, yeah. So it's a nice fill. When he fills to that juice box and then the person fills behind him, that's a very good bread and butter play to have control of the field.
So I'm not certain if the Titans have anybody in great position to even get into the snake at this point.
And they might not want to. Titans do play a slow, methodical game, and since they're up 2 points, they might just say, hey, let them come to us like we did a couple points ago. If we go down bodies, we'll still be able to hold them on the cross and, kind of just run out some time. There's 4 minutes left, so there's plenty of time for All-Stars to come back, but I think Titans want to draw this out a little bit.
Yeah. Nice bump up by number 24. Occasionally.
Is it 22?
Oh, 22, you're right.
24 is a little bit taller.
No way it could be 24.
No
Nobody
way.
in a 24 jersey ever pulls off anything like that. Right, Steve?
That's true. Oh,
a little too aggressive.
It's all right, though. I mean, okay,
Should've
here's the Titans' last 2 players cross again. Let's see if they can pull it out.
So number 22 there should have dropped and crawled. Instead of creeping,
yeah,
he dropped and crawled.
And I know time. He really wants to get the point on there so they have enough time to tie this up and or win it. But you still got to take your time. When you're in this position, you really want to make sure that everything you're doing is slow and methodical. See, here's 24, right?
Yeah.
Here he is. He's taking his time, representing the number well.
Number 24.
Okay, he broke the cross.
Nicely
Very
done.
good inside look.
Now he just has to deal with that can, and the can's going to take the walk. That's going to be the point.
So, yeah, they have plenty of time to tie this up and or win it.
Yep.
Good game.
We are getting stray rounds occasionally. They're long looping bouncers. There's no really real risk, but occasionally a ball. Nicely done. Good attacking. They lost a body. They said, no, we're going to keep attacking at the snake.
Yeah, I mean, at this level of play, that's what you got to do. You can't stay on your heels.
So you played Philly. You're obviously BZ. You played Philly. This snake layout reminds me a lot.
A little bit,
of Philly. The only thing, the big difference I'm seeing is there's no vision up the kind of tunnel between the inside snake and the outside snake. That was something that was there at Philly. Also, the lack of a little bump out off the brick makes it harder to wrap and do a bunch of damage from the brick. So the brick is not quite as valuable as it was at Philly, but obviously
it's still quite strong just because the only real corner to stop that wrap is, that small little cake, and a lot of teams have been playing it. So if you can get here first and you can establish where they are, it still can do quite a bit of damage. But, that snake tower really has a good advantage on stopping your wrap. You just have to be really, really aware that they're in the 50 snake.
Misfits trying to get into that snake wall one.
It's hard. It's a hard run, but it looks like DMG made it. And see, Misfits, they have to be the aggressors here. They need to make up some points. Well, still plenty of time, 10 minutes, but they want to get this to a closer spread.
Misfits have lost 2 bodies already, so they're down to 3.
Okay, that's a big bunker for DMG to lose. That snake tower, it's a big bunker for them to lose. I think it's a 3-on-4 now.
Yes. There's a bump out to that snake corner by DMG.
Good move. Try to help his player that's in snake right now.
So I think in this snake, just about any place you are in the snake, you can always drop and crawl down the inside.
Yes.
So
the only fear is if they have a command center and you're in that snake 1 little mini wall there, it's hard for you to go on the inside because he can drop them down on you.
Yep.
But since he shot out that tower, he should be able to
go.
Yeah, but I think he's trying to stop any push on the Dorito side right now.
Well, they're down 3-1. They need to win. I don't think they can afford to play too much defense.
Right. We'll see if the Misfits player in the snake is...
Oh, he's aware now. So the Misfit player is now aware that his mirror is hot in the snake. Yep. He did a real quick head check. Not long enough to commit and to take a chance getting shot, but he figured out the situation.
Hey, if he's able to look over the top like that, he's able to move. Now, if he wants to or not sure. I think he's just trying to gather information and go from there. Looks like he really wants to try to shoot somebody out before he makes that move.
So the Misfit player, in my opinion, could right now dive into that inside snake.
If he got to that 50 snake,
Well, by the way, if
he did shoot out the snake corner for DMG though.
Big move by the DMG player. He lived through it. Green wall.
About to
get
the hammer dropped on him.
Hurt a little bit. A little bit.
Hey, it's paintball,
Good hold by Misfits.
Yeah, they lost 2 bodies pretty quick, but they still came back with it. That's great.
Dug in, flipped it around. Nicely done. So I'm a big believer in, and again, I'm not playing semi-pro, but I'm a big believer in isolate your gunfights and then win your gun dominance and then immediately move.
Yeah,
just go.
Yeah, and especially on this field, even if you feel like you're getting dominated, as long as you find that opening, move out of that bunker.
Yes.
Right? Even if you're not in control, if you have that opening, especially on this field, you can take a lot of ground and either surprise them or relieve a lot of that pressure because, you moved. So the people that had shots in you before might not have the same ones on you.
Yeah, I agreed fully.
And this field really allows you to do that. So it's a very earlier I said it's a little bit traditional, and I still believe that it is, but it's very fun because it allows you to be, very dynamic and kind of do what you want to do on the field.
Yeah, creative and come up with solutions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Allstars versus Titans.
Let's see if Allstars can tie it up. Oh, All-Stars, Titan player.
Oh, not a good start for the Titans.
Looks like Allstars are 5 bodies up.
Yep.
Nope, 4-4. Just lost somebody.
Yeah.
Titans did make it out to the snake corner, though.
So here's a tip for BZ at your next game. That snake corner, is in real danger from, I think it's Dorito 1 or Dorito 2. Probably Dorito 2. You can blind shot over this juice box and just drop it right in on that corner.
Yeah, we identified that. It's just who wants to play it. I don't think I'll ever be playing that cake, so.
No. Put the little people, put the wee people like me in there.
I have played these type of cakes before, but it's not fun. You just feel so exposed.
Yeah.
But the Titan player looks comfortable and looks like you can do whatever you want in there. I'm jealous.
Well, you have the tall advantage of being able to look over bunkers down at people.
Oh, the Titan player in the corner, the snake corner, did get shot out.
Commentator cursed him
it
right out.
It might have been from that.
Dorito 2 is hot.
Yeah, I think I couldn't see the All-Star player. He was either in the D1 or he was in the D tower, but he's the one who did exactly what you said, that blind over into the inside of the snake corner.
And what's so deadly about those arcing blind shots is the other guy has no idea it's coming in. He can't really defend against it.
Yeah, and a lot of this paint is actually purple shell. So you can't, it's that much harder to see.
And
he tried the tactical retreat, the Titan player, and All-Stars are coming down on him. Looks like it's going to be tied up with a minute left.
This is going to be a hell of an ending to this
yeah,
game.
Great game.
So as long as he's clean, we're going to go 3-3 with about a minute left on the clock. All-Stars versus Titans.
60 seconds.
Hey, you had a great defensive game when you were playing home.
Yeah.
Managed to get you managed to get a major out of it, correct?
Yeah.
And then they had to start down a point the next one. Nicely done.
It was, it was a fun point. I thought that was going to be enough to kind of swing, the momentum in our favor, but
not quite.
Not quite.
So Indians, right? That's who you played against?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Any scouting, anything on them? I know nothing about them.
Yeah, no, it was hard for us because, World Cup teams come from all over the world, and so, we really didn't know anything about them. We did watch some of their previous games yesterday, and we had an idea of what they were going to do, and they did do it. It's just, they really adjusted to what we did, and we didn't adjust fast enough. And to be perfectly honest, we got two majors that I think is what tied it up for us to make it to where we weren't going to win it.
Yeah, you can't be giving away majors.
No.
I will say the Indians, I thought, played real aggressive. Both
French
teams.
And that's what we saw. They just like to be aggressive. But we stopped them on Snake's side. So we stopped that aggression. We were able to identify it. All right. Looks like a clean break for both teams. This is another one that, Misfits want to tie it up. All right, DMG losing their first player.
Tons of time on the clock, so that's not an issue whatsoever. DMG doing a little bit better aggression up the snake.
Yeah, and see, he's probably going to... Okay, so he stopped because he saw that the Misfits player in the snake tower was dropping him in the cross.
Yep.
So he looks inside to try to clear some pressure from that snake tower. And he not only cleared the pressure, he shot the player out.
Snake tower attempted to make a bump up that juice box. He might have gotten blown up by the Dorito side.
It looks like he got shot snake side. That player was looking inside, but he could have gotten it from both ways.
Oh, we're looking at shadows.
Huge.
Oh, looked away at the wrong time.
Yeah.
DMG.
Just the awareness of what he was doing. He might have seen his shadow. He took this Misfit player. He wants it. He wants to tie this game up.
Looks like Gerber for DMG was looking at shadows, trying to see if he could identify with it, and then he looked away at the wrong time.
Number 43 on the Misfits just had a huge point.
Nicely
I think
done.
he's at least got a 3-pack. He's going for 4. He won them this point 100%. Great play, great awareness. That was awesome.
As usually is the case when you get a 3 or 4 pack, one of your teammates runs through the middle to hit the buzzer.
Hey, you're tired after you do all that work.
Steal all the glory.
You're tired after you do that. Listen, I don't ever want to hit the buzzer. It's scary. You could have like a phantom hit on you. You don't want to be that guy that, we won the point. Oh, by the way, we didn't because, it was a dirty hang.
Again, as both a ref and a player, I often feel bad for players who legitimately don't know your hit.
Right.
You got to hit on the pack or hit on the top of the hopper and maybe don't know about it. And although as you get more involved veteran in the sport, most of the times you can just feel it.
That's why pack hits pull a minor, is because it's an obvious hit.
Okay, slight correction. As a ref, I'm going to ref nerd on you.
No, go ahead.
It's not the location of the hit. It's what your actions after the hit determine the flag, right? So you could have the tiniest unnoticeable pack hit, but if you shoot another player with that pack hit on you, it's a major. You could have a blinding goggle hit. As long as you don't shoot anybody, then it should be a minor, unless it's egregious how long you play on.
Right, yeah.
And
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. Yes, I won something. I did something right. Folks at home, that's a D5 player taking a semi-pro player.
I just remember, back in the day when pack hits were
obvious
not
versus
deemed,
inobvious.
Yeah, they were not deemed inobvious. So you could continue play and they wouldn't throw a penalty on you. But they picked up on it and said, you know what, players can hear it, they can feel it. We're going to say if they continue play, then.
Speak of it, and it shall appear. Titans just got a minor.
All-Stars are really wanting to win this point. They don't want overtime, so they're making a concerted push.
20 seconds. He can blow up home right there from the snake if he's
let's
clean.
See what happened. I didn't see any paint on him.
Ref is pulling him out. Hit on the pack. Uh-oh.
I think
there's another penalty on All-Stars. That's another minor.
Super
I'm sorry, not another. There's a minor for both teams at this point.
So, one Titan player. Is it a one-on-one?
It is messy out there.
I'm trying to see.
No, he
didn't make it.
Okay. Player. Yeah, great match, though.
So it was a great match. Unfortunately.
We're not done, though. We're going to go to overtime.
That Titan player really wanted to sprint down there. Yeah. Not have to go into overtime. Yeah, there was a little bit of chaos, but, that's what happens. 60 seconds left. Both team wants it. They're going to try to pull some chaos.
Well, you got to be careful it's not a major, because then
Right.
it's an instant. Under 60
Yeah.
seconds, you lose. I'm telling that for the audience at home. Stephen well knows the rules on that.
But, yeah, so, and that's – I think that's an awesome rule because it stops a lot of that, kind of cheater kind of
it's
chaos.
cheating. Yeah.
And it makes people play, a much better game of paintball in those dire moments. So you have good points and not just, I'm going to get shot 1,800 times and just keep running. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that was a very good rule adjustment. That was awesome.
I would also make an argument that the flags made an enormous cultural change in this sport.
Oh, yes. 100%.
Here
So
we go.
Misfits really strong on that snake side. They had a strong breakout. Unfortunately, their
Dorito side
player,
can taking a walk.
DMG aggressive in the snake again.
DMG has done a better job moving up this snake and getting into it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think they've had a little worse job of survivability on this snake side.
It looks like he's playing a little bit slower, trying to find the shots first before he progresses.
He loses his can behind him on that back line, though.
Yep, looks like it's a 4-on-4 now.
So GMG in that tower on the snake side. Snake 2.
Yeah, the tower still has a lot of protection for his player in the snake.
It's a good bump. He's going to go ahead and crawl up to the other team.
He's getting
snake.
animated now. He really wants it.
And there is a minor on the Misfits.
A lot of flags. Ref just did a battle roll. That was pretty cool looking. I don't know.
Do you, as a coach, watch the ref staff and start to change your game plan at all as the weekend goes on?
Understanding which refs are out there?
Not so much which refs, just in general, if you see a field where the refs are throwing flags.
Oh, yeah, we
Night and
identify
day.
it pretty quickly, and then we say, hey, so I understand that, people will play every advantage they can.
Yeah.
So, identifying if the refs are, being very strict or not is just another facet of making sure that, your team's ready for the tournament.
And I could be naive here, but I don't think any team coach says to a team, hey, I don't think these refs throw flags, so go ahead and cheat.
No.
But I do think you tell your players, hey, these refs are not messing around. Do not even consider.
Exactly.
Just get the hell off the field if there's any question.
Exactly. Yeah, because you play with fire, you're going to get burned. So.
Yeah. Ooh, this DMG player is getting pinched from the backside. And that might have been a bounce shot. I think that was them putting a bounce shot into this DMG player.
I'm trying to see where the other DMG players are. It's kind of hard, the glare, and just the bunkers in general.
So I believe it's D2 for
good
DMG.
backup for the DMG snake player. Very good backup. More room to breathe, and he's able to wrap the snake 50 now.
I don't love him shooting his gun at that snake wall. I think he should have waited for the snake wall to pop his head out.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he shot like that. That's okay. Because the Misfit player he does not want to lose the point, so he is waiting for them to come down on him, and then he knows that he's crossed up with his player in the D1.
So I think he can blind shot into that D1 crossfield. I'm saying the DMG player.
Yes.
Because there's that juice box blocks line of sight. But you can use that to your advantage by, the other player doesn't know the stream's coming.
I think he can the DMG player, I think, can look on the inside of the 50 snake and then have good eyes on the D1 player, but I just don't think he wants to throw his body away.
And, I don't have the cardio to suggest what I'm about to suggest, but if you're sitting there with your gun aimed at a bunker that the guy's not challenging you from, go ahead and move. He should go ahead and move back to their side of the field or drop back to just start looking for new ways to attack. Because if you're just sitting there in an important bunker and your gun's not doing anything, you should start looking for another avenue.
Right. To be perfectly honest, being in that situation that he's in now, he could be tired.
Yeah, completely.
I've been in that situation.
Yeah.
This is what I should do, but I'm a little too tired, so I'm just going to wait here.
Yeah. Here's the run through.
Beautiful.
Clean, absolutely clean, unless he got shot cross.
Let's see. The ref's going to check him. I mean, he's playing like he knows he didn't get touched. So
the DMG player didn't even attempt to spin or anything, which was the right move. He never would have gotten away with it.
Right.
There you go.
Great.
Great move by the Misfits.
Misfits take it. I mean, they take the lead now. 3 minutes left. Still plenty of time, but
number 83 by the Misfits. Great sequence. And does it clean. Well, I say clean. He's about to hit the buzzer. We'll find out here in a second.
See. He's like, no, you can get it. You can do it. I'm tired.
Yeah, let's.
Towel.
Nice work by the Misfits.
They toweled even, so great. Yeah, this is a good game. 3 minutes, 2:59. So
let me see if I can. pull up our rankings. I'm not sure where Misfit is standing for the year. I certainly believe DMG is one of the higher ranked teams coming into this.
Yeah, I think Misfits, from what I've seen, they've been doing pretty well. But I could be wrong.
Misfits are currently 23 overall, and DMG is 20 overall.
Okay.
And while you at home might say, 20th, what's dude, 20th at semi-pro is pretty freaking impressive.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
This is no joke. The worst team in semi-pro is better than you. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. It's just, you're playing against such high caliber players, and the lower you are, the more likely you're playing a higher seeded team. So you're getting even more spins against quality players.
I should probably go back and track some of these teams, see how they do rising over the years. The longer you can stay in something like semi-pro, give it a couple years, and I generally speaking, your team will be rising to the top because of all that practice. However, there's always the challenge of keeping a team together.
That's the hardest part.
Especially as some of your players blossom and turn into, basically pros,
poached,
and then they get poached. So I talk about there being like this kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If as a team you start cutting your weaker players, it frays a little bit at that brotherhood that, but if you don't do it, your good players are more likely to jump off the team and go play for a contender.
Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I think we might have a buzzer problem because the refs are just yelling, go, go.
Yeah, it looks like the game time is not going, so I'm not sure. I think there was 3 minutes left.
Titans versus Allstars. Allstars on our right.
Uh-oh.
There's a minor that's going to go up against the Allstars.
It's a major.
Oh, it's a major. You are correct.
Oh, no. I wonder what happened. He's looking for one more even.
Wow. Is it a gross? Oh, then it has to be a gross major. It had to have been a wipe.
Goodness.
It's 3 bodies pulled. That had some kind of gross major.
Yeah. So Titans now, they're just going to try to figure it out. I think they're at least 4 bodies up. And
if I'm that all-star player, don't shoot my gun.
100%.
You either do what he's doing, which is try to be aggressive and pull off something crazy, or don't shoot your gun and try to catch them unawares coming down the field.
He got one, but then he gave his position away.
Yeah. Now he's going to get shot in the pack.
There it is. You know what? He did what he needed to do, though. He got one of them at least.
So yeah. All-Stars captain asking Mikhail, our ultimate ref, what's going on with that penalty. Mm-hmm. Not only is it major, I suspect it was a wipe just about due to the amount of bodies being pulled.
You got to state your case sometimes,
Yeah. No. However, no player ever says to a ref, "Yeah, man, you got me." Good on you.
I had to say one of our players did.
Really?
He looked at the ref after trying to tempt something, and the ref nodded, and he's like, "Yeah."
So
then the flag came up. You got to respect that honesty, though, right?
I think there's 3 types of cheaters in this sport, right? Cheater prototype number 1. He tries to get away with something, gets caught, says to the ref, "Hey, yo, man, you caught me. Nice work." Goes back to his pits. His pits asks him what happened. He says, "Hey, I tried. I didn't get away with it." Cheater number 2. Screams bloody murder at the ref. "You're screwing me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad call." Goes back to his pits, and his teammates ask him what happened. He goes, "Yeah, the ref caught me. It's, I tried." Cheater number 3.
Deny.
Denies at every stage.
Mm-hmm.
Denies it to the ref. Denies it to his teammates. A week later, he's telling anybody that'll listen that watch the webcast.
It's the ref's fault.
Yeah.
No, those are the archetypes for sure. And I never blatantly cheat. I just don't do it. But you got to respect the people that try to play the game in all facets and are honest with themselves. And
I'm totally with you.
I got to respect it.
I'm totally with you. At this point, not being a super competitive point of my career, I just don't cheat.
What a run
anymore.
From Misfits.
Great run.
And he made it. He ran straight at the Snake Tower, fast, dove out.
It's clean. I think we have 5 alive for both teams
Looks
at
like
the moment.
The ref's checking him. Let's just see. Oh.
DMG player getting. Oh, I'm sorry. Misfit player getting yanked.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. It looked nice. It was a good run.
Misfits immediately try to fill that snake back in from the tower. Good move.
Yeah, very good move. So they still have the pressure there on the snake. He doesn't have as much backup. He still has his snake can.
A Misfit player walking off from that Dorito side, so they're down to 3 bodies.
Yep, DMG's ready to start marching down now.
DMG needs the point. They got little over 2 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time.
I don't want to jinx him, but they're in position to take this point. Number 29 looks like Spencer.
Yeah, he's ready to do a ton of damage.
As long as he can stay alive.
So Spencer's tower is doing a great job preventing that other snake player from Misfits from bunkering him.
Right.
That's his only real risk. That or just losing a gunfight.
Right. It's all right. They have time to win this. So as long as the DMG player stays alive, stays calm, he can start opening the field up for his team.
I mean, he's got to be gobbling a lot of attention, too, so that should free up some other DMG players to maybe push the Dorito side.
A DMG player is just walking off, looks like from Dorito side now.
Oh, he's going to go. He's going to go for the bunker. Did he get it?
Oh, he got a little too squirrely.
Spencer, number 23, takes
That's
the walk.
Unfortunate.
Too much of a risk. At the same time, number 16 is taking a walk.
Okay, both teams still have snake presence.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know that DMG refilled the snake, though. So let's see.
Based on the paint not coming in, I don't think they did. Misfit player might be considering a run-through.
Uh-oh. Oh, he missed. Oh, no. Now he knows. Now they both know.
Now, don't re-engage in this gunfight.
He tried to come after him.
Go to the inside.
It's not looking good for DMG. Let's see. Good move.
Good, clean move for DMG.
And he got... Oh, there it is. DMG wants it.
They got 45. You know what? If I'm Misfits, you got to towel. Right now, towel it. No, maybe not.
No,
you get tight. You tie it up. Yeah.
They don't mind pushing it to
you're
overtime.
right. You're right.
Great move. You know what his number was, by the way, also.
Was it 24?
It was 24. Before the tournament, all of us 24s, we get together. We talk about how we want to play, what we're going to do.
Don't shoot at me, I won't shoot at you,
exactly.
Right? Yes. You all put your hands in, cut your palm.
Right, yeah.
Do the blood oath.
The blood pact. That was a great move, though. Timed perfectly. Very, very aware on what was going on, and yeah, he got it for him. He's got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah. And it's on TV, and you get to watch it later.
He's going to go home. He's going to cut that clip, show it to all his friends, his family.
He's going to show it to his grandparents, and his grandparents are going to say, "Oh, that's nice. You did the paintball."
Yeah.
By the way, the refs were just ripping one of the pod runners a new one. I suspect he was on the field early.
Yeah.
I don't usually see the refs yelling at pod runners.
They want to grab those pods, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the pod runners. I'm sorry, it's not fun.
No, there's no glory in it. It's hot. You get just as dirty.
Exactly.
Now you're getting yelled at by refs.
Yeah, you're sprinting around all the time. Refs are yelling at you. If you don't get all the pods, your pit's yelling at you. Usually they're not wearing cleats, so you can slip.
Yeah.
Listen, I've slipped on stream before when I was pod running, and it was very embarrassing.
So I don't want to jinx it, but this weekend the weather looks good because you played the last 2 events. Every event we've had just a massive downpour of rain, and that's made. I watched a lot of oversliding deaths at both Philly and Chicago.
That's right.
Player doing everything right, but they just couldn't stop when they get to say a corner bunker. So
yeah, it's because if you slide early, you run the risk of
not
getting shot because you're not going fast enough.
Yep.
If you do your normal run, you overslide it. So yeah, it's just
and players very quickly learn to shoot for the overslide.
Exactly.
Just put your gun past the bunker and you're going to get a free kill.
10 seconds.
Let's see what they're going to do. You have the option of holding, just pushing it to overtime, or really trying to win the point. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do.
I would bet Misfits are more likely to attack. Just my guess.
Big run out to the corner for DMG. Unfortunately, he did not make it.
DMG playing a little more defensive. Misfits not going full
this
aggressive.
Is scary. DMG just lost 2, 3. Uh-oh.
25 seconds.
Misfits just coming down. They're marching. They want to win this point.
As long as you don't get a major, go for it.
That's true. Looks like it's a 5-on-2.
15 seconds.
5-on-1.
Misfits are going to take this point.
They're going to take this point.
Wow.
Huge.
And win the match.
Huge. Is this player okay? He's all right. Dived over the star box a little bit.
Wow. Well done, Misfits.
Yeah.
They had, I think 35 seconds on the
35,
clock.
Exactly.
Against a very good DMG team, and they absolutely sent it.
Got the thumbs up.
And they didn't just get to the box. They didn't just get to the buzzer with one alive. I'm seeing like 4
I think it was all. I don't think they lost a body.
You might be right.
I don't think they lost a
1,
body.
2, 3. Wow.
Big win for them.
DMG has to be having a conversation in their pits right now. Woof.
Hey, we went through the same thing. We went through the same thing.
I'm sorry. Did I just bring up bad memories?
No, it's not bad. It's paintball, right? It's it's our first year, so I don't have ill feelings about anything. I know it's a learning experience for us, and good and bad, we want to take it all, right? Because that's what's going to make us better ultimately. But we have a track record, unfortunately, for having 60 seconds left. Hey, we have to hold these guys. We've been playing great. We don't hold them, and then it's like we got to try to win a point in 15 seconds, and then we play out of our minds, but then we run out of time.
Yeah.
It's like, why
Maybe
couldn't we have played out of our minds
Yeah.
with the 60 seconds? So it's all mental, it's all experience, and so we need those experiences to continue growing as a team.
So even if teams practice defensive situations, pretty much any good team goes out, puts a little bit of practice time in for defensive situations. That said, every game, every just practice game, every tournament game, the core of what you do out there is generally you're trying to push to win the field. So subtly, you're practicing offense 99% of the time.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe it's actually a lot tougher for most players to play defense well.
Yeah.
Because the bulk of their playing career is not playing defense. It's
And playing on
off.
your heels in paintball specifically, playing that quote-unquote defensive, I got to hold them, it really doesn't net you a lot of advantage, right?
Yeah. You're giving up yardage. You're
Right.
giving up angles.
If teams want to play a more defensive play style, I have to kind of say that they need to just watch a lot of tape of damage. I've never seen a team play so good in a holding pattern, the pro team's damage, because they just I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
They can be playing against the most aggressive team, and they stay alive. They know their shots. They know their zones. And I think that's very hard to do. I think it's very hard to do. I mean,
Very.
it's hard to be a very aggressive team and get into those spots and run through lanes, but I think it's much harder to be a successful team that can play defense well. It's just all your advantage and shots come from in front of that back line. So if you're trying to stay on that back line, you're putting yourself to get shot by 3-4 different angles. So.
What I have seen a lot this year is, and at semi-pro, the under 30 seconds, which is the desperation time.
Yeah,
We're not
the
talking about
desperation.
there's 2 minutes. We're talking
Right.
about under 30 seconds. The teams that are up, say 4-3 or 3-2, and there's 30 seconds, they've been attacking.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
think
just,
that, yeah.
it's
yeah.
really disruptive to the other team that thinks they're going to be doing the attacking to have a body flying through the middle.
Flying
on
through,
you.
and they're like, oh, wait.
Yeah, and it's just totally disruptive. All right, here we go. Misfits, DMG. Misfits on my left drop their first body.
DMG's just got to come at him.
Yeah.
Time finished.
I have to say that it's desperation for DMG. They easily could
Game finished.
get those penalties because they just want to
Yeah.
keep going. But it looked like every single player they got shot, they immediately went out, which is, I got to have respect for that because, you want to win that point or put your best effort forward, but, not pulling a penalty, even when it doesn't quote-unquote matter, I still have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. And with a good reffing crew like this, you're not going to get away with it.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I say good reffing crew. I'm not out there playing. I'm sure there's other players that have a different opinion, but
It doesn't matter how good
I've
the
liked what I've
refs
seen.
are. No, but it doesn't matter how good the refs are. You will find multitudes of players that say the refs are bad.
Always. Yeah. The thing we talk about at local tournaments is that come the playoffs, right now in the playoffs, there's a whole bunch of cars driving home with everybody
refs.
saying how bad the refs
refs
screwed
are.
us over.
Exactly.
Every single time.
Exactly, yeah.
And when you get to the podium moment, every team goes, hey, man, we want to shout out to the refs.
The
They did a
refs-
great
the refs
job
are great,
today. Every time.
It's what I always tell people when they complain about refs or whatever is like, don't let it come down to the refs manipulating the play, right? You have to be so good, you have to beat the team so convincingly that even if the refs are swayed against you, don't let it ever come down to that. If it's that close, then you were still doing something quote-unquote wrong, right?
So reffing locally in the New England area, reffing a little bit here at the NXL a few years back, I have to say, in 20 years, I never once heard a ref staff say, hey, man, I don't like this team. I'm going to go get them. I'm not saying there can't be subtle, subconscious stuff going on. Absolutely possible. But as far as the players that love to say, oh, the refs, they didn't want us to win, having been in stripes for decades, I just never heard it.
You don't.
So
I mean, the refs don't care enough, right?
No.
You know, they don't. You know, oh yeah, this is my friend, but it's not like they're going to show favoritism.
know,
If you're mean to the ref, though, 100%.
There
If
you
you're
go.
mean, you're shooting the ref on purpose. You're
there you
getting in his
go.
face. Yeah, he's going to have a bias towards you, and he has every right.
That is,
in my opinion, he has every right to be biased towards you.
if there's any reffing bias, it's against teams that are being jerks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
specifically malicious.
Are you calling out a team?
No,
Okay.
no. I've reffed for quite a while as
Yeah.
well, and that's the thing is like I appreciate the refs because at practice, if you don't have a ref, it's
Yeah.
very frustrating.
There are a lot of nations that have mandatory military service, right? You hit 18 and you have to serve 2 years, 4 years in the Army.
Paintball should have mandatory ref
South
service.
Korea. I believe that in
100%.
paintball you should have like a mandatory reffing period. I kind of say the same thing about the food service industry, by the way. If you ever go into a restaurant and you see somebody screaming at the wait staff, you never wait. All right, we're going to go to commercial. We'll be back in a minute. Thank you.